So I was actually, I joke about how like Lars was my secret project, but I was actually playing Lars on the side at home, just online and stuff like that, just because I wanted to see whether this character had something secret within him that was worth doing. And I was getting it to a point where I felt like I had an idea on what this character was really all about, but I wasn't entirely sure. Now that he got buffed tremendously, we might actually see a lot more, and so I would get to see if maybe my ideas were correct, but I'm not sure.
Get ready for the next battle.
Yeah, his improvements are crazy, right? Like it's mind blowing how much better this character got. So we will go over them because this has been the talk of the town. Only one page of notes too, so they must be very good. Distance traveled between backward animation is decreased. Reach increased. This was largely because he has one of the most movement. Like he moves a shit ton when he does his rage art. So during this, like, so you can see right here. Look how close I am. I am right next to him, and he moves so far back that he'll be able to like avoid things while he does it, and that's might be considered to be unfair. Because he moves around during the time where the opponent cannot move at all. Okay, so now transitions to silent entry. So now he has 4-2-1. Or sorry, 4-1-2 into. So this is the problem, right? This is the problem move. Am I doing this wrong? I feel like I'm not getting this. I'm not doing anything after 4-1-2. And he's doing silent entry transitions. God, what is this combo? What is this? So 4-2-1 was the real problem. 4-1-2 now just has a silent entry. Did it have silent entry before 4-1-2? I don't believe it did. No, it did. Is this backwards? Hit one for the money after that? Jesus Christ. Yeah, that's the combo. I mashed that out and I got 72 damage. Holy shit. What was I gonna say? So 4-1-2. So this is really odd. Before he had 4-1-2. If I let the stick go, if you look at my inputs, he transitions in the silent entry. You have to hold back and cancel 4-1, 4-1, 2-3. But if I do 4-1-2 hold back, then I actually get the cancel. You know? If I do 4-2-1 back like the patch notes are saying right now, where it says it transitions into silent entry, then I don't get the cancel. But if I let it go, then I get the cancel. That's backwards. Let's see if that... That wasn't available before. In the patch notes, or in the old RB No Array notes, it's saying that it's possible. Right here. But it doesn't give it an input. It was just a transition. The cancel, if this wasn't the cancel the automatic stance shift. Okay, yeah. But I didn't think so either, but at the same time 4-2-1 it says it transitions into silent entry when you hold back now. But instead it's saying if you just do it raw, then you get the cancel. It should be the opposite, is what I'm saying. Either way, it's not that big of a deal. It's just one of those things that I don't know if the patch notes are wrong or if the move got bugged. I mean, it looks like there's a lot of things that are bugged. Look at this shit. 53 damage. Also, Luca. Enough of that. Silent entry 1 wall bounces. Silent entry 2 startup change from 19 frames. What is silent entry 2 again? Right, his low. So it's quicker. I think Dragonov's still crazy good. I think switching off to Dragonov would be unadvised or ill-advised. I think he's very, very strong still. What else? 2-1 no longer transitions to silent entry with back. Two one three now no longer transitions to dynamic entry. There's a lot of... I feel really weird when I'm playing this character right now. I feel like the patch notes got mistranslated. He has a lot of manual transitions now, where he didn't before. I don't know why. It feels like it's backwards. I think most characters are pretty strong in Tekken. Eliza and Gigas still stick out as sore thumbs, but other than that, I think you're right. A lot of characters look very good right now. 1, 2, 3. So I think there's a lot of holdback to there's a lot of holdback to cancel that the mistranslation there's mistranslated, because it says no longer able to transition for dynamic entry. That's that's dynamic entry. I think what they wanted to say was that you can hold back, now you can cancel it. Whatever. 4-3 added crouch status from 4 to 10. Oh, so I don't know if you'll ever actually see this to beat highs, but you might. Dynamic entry 3 causes wall bounce. This is his wall bounce move. That was slightly far. I forgot what I saw for his wall bounce, but I remember seeing it looking like it's pretty good. A dynamic entry now transitions to silent entry. He has a way to get into silent entry now on its own without having to use moves that specifically go into silent entry. It's still a bit contrived, but there might be some things that come out of it. 1+2. Arc Blast now 13. Leaves closer on block. Easier to punish, but safer on block. Down 4-2. Active frames increased by 1 frame. A little bit easier to hit. Should get out of rage too. Back 1. Opponent's reaction on counter hit was changed. What the fuck? What kind of weird animation is that? It used to just give you a +8. Now it gives you knockdown. So technically buffed. I mean, what do I do with this animation though? It's just weird looking. Might be really hard to actually get anything out of. Yeah, this is, you can't get anything afterwards. Back 4-3, now -8 on block, decreased by 4 frames on hit, screws midair hit, expanded hitbox downwards. Huh. I don't know how useful this is as a movement in this game, but having more screws is never a bad thing. This reminds me of Dragunov back 4-3. It's just back 3-4 instead. It's a little bit slower than Dragunov, so it'll be easier to duck on reaction, but it's still pretty good. And it's also -8 on block now, so I expect people to throw this out because it's 36 damage. How fast does it start up? 17 frames. Yeah, that's pretty good, honestly. And the fact that you still have you still have silent entry, you still have silent entry transition out of it, so there's things to be wary of to check it. Back 4, expanded hit downwards. This is largely because you want to be able to hit AOP with this, so that's nice. Wall rising 2-1. +3 on hit. A little bit more reward for your 13 frame while standing. Yeah. 13 frame while standing. That's fair. +3 means that now you have a lot more things that are scary. +3 is like this threshold for a lot of characters, like especially for, let's check real quick. What's his down forward 1? His down forward 1, 13 frames. So that means he has this, a lot of characters, their down forward 1 or their fastest mid is a threshold for what plus frames you want. Like when you think about Street Fighter, you think, oh yeah, anything that's -2 and lower is safe, right? But in this game, it's like the threshold for plus frames is like anything that's above your down forward 1 or your safest mid poke, your quickest safest mid poke. For him, that's that down forward 1. So hitting that threshold of +3 is very important. It opens up your game a lot because now this becomes a thing, right? And as soon as you get people who you feel like are going to be challenging you in this spot right here, you're able to really mess them up for it. Stomp does more damage. Can I get this dodge cancel? Probably not. I'm really bad at him. Yeah, I'm really bad at him. It's okay. This is a universal change. So really, I think this character actually didn't get that much better altogether, to be honest with you. I don't think this character got all that better. It's just the fact that this is really fucked up. It does 49 damage, 12 frame punish is absolutely madness. Me and MYK were talking about this at Wednesday Night Fights, and he was both saying that because what happened with 2 forward 1 is that they gave it a manual. They gave it a manual stance transition, right? And what they did with the manual stance transition is it's hard to know because they don't give you the active frames. You don't know the active frame. What's it called? You don't know the active frame data in Tekken. So it's hard for you to notice whether what the real problem is. But we think that because they gave you a manual input here, it actually is canceling on the very first frame. And since it's canceling on the very first frame it possibly can, you're able to connect this. And that goes to for 1+2 as well. I'm not in Rage anymore, so I can't do it. That's my guess on why it got changed. Something with the manual transitions made it so that it either cancels improperly once you get the 1. You can see, like, after you hit the forward 1, he immediately starts turning around because you don't have to do the input yourself. I'd almost be okay with it if it was a just frame or something very skill-based, but it's not. I'd actually not be okay with it. Why'd I say that? It would be really good. But in the end, this character gets to start damage 49. Right? This is insanity. Absolute insanity. And it should be nerfed. I also think that people should... Manual transitions shouldn't be a thing. You should be able to... You should have purposeful transitions. Manual transitions usually make your execution easier, but make it harder for you to play the character overall. Cool. Lars, honestly, if Lars can... I'll be honest with you right now. If Lars is considered good because of these changes beyond the 4-2-1 dynamic or silent entry 1 combo, if people think he's good beyond that, it's because people didn't recognize how good he was before. And I was doing a lot of studying on this character, and I thought this character was good before all these changes were happened. A lot of these changes aren't a big deal in such a way that make it like, oh man, this character's crazy good. This is a huge punish. Arc Blast being 13, a lot of characters won't be able to launch punish it. That combo seems like it's a bug. But the bug, I think, is developer error, I'll be honest. I think they did this on accident. This is a good buff, in my opinion. Back 3-4. But I don't think it's gonna ruin it. I don't think it's gonna rule his game. None of these buffs make me feel like he's that much better. What makes me feel that he's that much better is that people think he's better. I don't think any of these changes actually make it so that he's crazy good. I'll be honest. I haven't seen one piece of tech that doesn't include this. All the tech that I've seen has been, oh, look at how good 4-2-1 send cancel 1 is. Like, yeah, we know this, but we're also all considering that this might not be an actual thing. So can you show me something else that makes you think that Lars is crazy good? Not a lot of people are. And if people do think that Lars is crazy good despite this, it's because the character was already good beforehand. That's my thoughts on this character. I thought he was okay and not bad before. I think these changes turn him from okay to good as when you exclude the 4-2-1 cancel. The 4-2-1 cancel makes him amazing because his 12-13 frame punish is absolutely absurd now. Actually, even 14 in some cases. But he has this for his 14 frame punish. It's just a shitty input.